Let the might of your with the flowing stream.
Τα τελευταία χρόνια στην Ιρλανδία κυκλοφορούν κάποιες βιντεοκασέτες που έφτασαν εδώ από τον αυξανόμενο αριθμό Ιρλανδών που ταξιδεύουν στο Goiers της κεντρικής Βραζιλίας ζητώντας τη γιατριά. Εκεί ένας Βραζιλιάνος θεραπευτής κάνει εγχειρήσεις χωρίς αναισθητικό και όπως φαίνεται χωρίς πόνο. Είναι γνωστός ως Ζοάο Τεϊξέιρα. Η φήμη του έχει εξαπλωθεί τα τελευταία χρόνια χάρη στο διαδίκτυο και τώρα εκατοντάδες ακόμη και χιλιάδες άνθρωποι από όλο τον κόσμο έρχονται να τον δουν κάθε εβδομάδα. Το Μάρτιο του 2003 η οικογένεια Μακάντι και οι φίλοι τους έχουν συγκεντρωθεί για να αποχαιρετήσουν τις αδελφές Τζόαν και Γκρόνια που ετοιμάζονται για την Νότιο Αμερική.
To John something, I can't say it in Brazilian, but he's a healer. And I saw him on TV, and he made people better, and I said, he's about the only person I believe in. Try him out.
Μια γυναίκα με λευκά ρούχα εμφανίστηκε στο Ζοάο όταν ήταν 11 ετών. Του είπε ότι η αποστολή του ήταν να θεραπεύει. Έπεσε σε έκσταση και συνήλθε ώρες αργότερα σε ένα θεραπευτικό κέντρο στο οποίο σε εκείνη τη στιγμή έκανε εγχειρήσεις. Αυτό ήταν το ξεκίνημα αυτού του ταξιδιού.
So, he has to fix my legs, make them walk.
Η Τζόεν εργαζόταν ως δικηγόρος στο Δουβλίνο πριν μάθει ότι έπασχε από σκλήρυνση κατά πλάκας. Η αδελφή της, η Γκρόνια, εργάζεται περιστασιακά σε κωμικά νούμερα.
I think the illness has gotten to the stage now where it's the last roll of the dice for Joan, basically. So she's ready for it, and I'm ready to take her out there. So it's not a holiday. We have a lot of hard work to do.
There's different types of MS, but this is the progressive. It just gets worse.
It does change your personality, it changes your mental capacity, it changes your physical capacity, it changes everything about your persona. It changes the way you relate to people, and it changes the way you relate to the world, and the way the world relates to you.
I'm not very good at reading because my hands shake, so I can't hold something, and I can't write. No. I used to run a lot. Like there was a half marathon in Cavan, I did it, and now I can't even get as far as the car.
We got married in 91. Joan set up her law practice that same year. It wasn't really until about 1997 that the MS came back with all its ferocity, and I hope they have a safe trip. I hope everything goes smoothly, and I hope that she comes back to us, the Joan we knew back in the early 90s.
Ο Ζοάο λέει ότι τα πνεύματα τον οδήγησε να ιδρύσει αυτή τη θεραπευτική εστία στην Αμπαντάνια. Η Κάζα Ντομινάσιο, όπως είναι γνωστή, βρίσκεται στο μέρος αυτό 25 χρόνια. Τους επισκέπτες στην Κάζα τους συμβουλεύουν να φορούν λευκά, επειδή ο θεραπευτής λέει ότι τον βοηθάει να βλέπει το ενεργειακό τους πεδίο. Οι θεραπείες δεν κοστίζουν, αλλά οι δωρεές γίνονται δεκτές. Ο γιατρός Τζέφρι Ρέντιγκερ ήρθε στην Αμπαντάνια για να ερευνήσει τις θεραπείες για τις οποίες άκουγε εδώ και καιρό στην ιατρική σχολή του Χάρβαρντ.
Our goal has been to collect the lab reports and the radiological exams, photos of people who report having been physically healed, and to see if the lab reports and the x-rays and the CT scans from before the illness and after the illness is healed, in their estimation, if the lab reports can document that.
A lot of people come here just to see what's happened here. A lot of people come here because they are very, very sick. Like me, when I arrive here, I come because I want something, to walk again.
There was an atmosphere of love. There was an atmosphere of heart, compassion.
Ο Μάικλ Κόρι είναι ψυχίατρος και ενδιαφέρεται για τις εναλλακτικές θεραπείες. Έχει εργαστεί στην Αφρική και στη Νότιο Αμερική και έχει επισκεφθεί διάφορους θεραπευτές.
Every time I think about Vajani, that's the feeling I get. Open hearts. We're all in this together. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. A miracle could happen here.
People are claiming several things. Some people are saying that there's been a partial remission of physical symptoms, whether it's cancer or arthritis or depression or whatever, and other people are reporting a complete cure of some of these illnesses. We just want to see if this is true. If it is true, then it's a worldview destroyer for me, because it means that there are things happening that I don't know how to explain. Other people are saying that what's happening for them is really the beginning of a healing journey that is as much spiritual or more spiritual than something that's merely physical.
Οι άνθρωποι περιμένουν να μιλήσουν με τους βοηθούς που μεταφράζουν τις ερωτήσεις και τις παρακλήσεις τους στα πορτογαλικά.
What's your intention, John?
To walk, of course.
Me just overall healing.
You'll show them.
That's for her, and that's one for you.
Obrigada. Okay, round it up. I'll have to get the beans later.
Ο Όλταν Ομάρα ήταν μηχανικός ηλεκτρονικών υπολογιστών πριν η κατάθλιψη αλλάξει τη ζωή του.
I spent a long time here in a very desperate situation. I wouldn't say that anything definite happened for me here that I could pinpoint or that I could feel or that I could sense in terms of healing, in terms of change. I would say for me, it just kept me going. The sense of some kind of hope, some sense that there was something supernatural, something beyond any normal way of healing.
It's great to be here. It was a great, beautiful journey getting here, hassle-free. Ever since we decided to come, beautiful things have happened, you know.
You understand?
And
it's all about heart opening, trusting, and faith. Zhao Teixeira has done this mission for 43 years. What a mission. I don't know anybody on this planet that does what Zhao does. He dedicates his time to humanity without asking for anything in return.
Όσοι παραμένουν για καιρό στην Γάζα κάθονται στις αίθουσες διαλογισμού, οι οποίες ονομάζονται κορένσε, που στα πορτογαλικά σημαίνει ρεύμα ή αλυσίδα. Η ουσία είναι ότι ο ομαδικός διαλογισμός δημιουργεί μια γραμμή ενέργειας που βοηθάει το μέσον, το Ζοάο δηλαδή, να πέσει σε έκσταση. Ο Ζοάο λέει ότι είναι αναίσθητος εκείνη τη στιγμή και μπορεί να ενσαρκώσει τα πνεύματα ενός άλλου επίπεδου ύπαρξης.
Zhao believes in part, as I understand it, that by healing the soul, that sometimes the body can be healed.
He has to be coming from the place that every human being is a spiritual being having a human experience. So the role of spirit is just so apparent there.
Οι εθελοντές ετοιμάζουν δωρεάν σούπα που σερβίρεται καθημερινά στο σπίτι. Την ευλογεί ο Ζοάο και οι άνθρωποι καλούνται να τη γευτούν ως μέρος της θεραπείας τους.
Arthur was interpreting for us. Arthur came out and he said that he wanted Joan to have 3 crystal baths, that the spirits were working on her already, which is great news, and that she may feel pain, but not to worry.
Η Μπρέντα Γόλς ήταν πιστή όταν ήταν μικρή, αλλά εγκατέλειψε την Καθολική Εκκλησία στην εφηβεία της. Πήγε στη Βραζιλία με την κόρη της Έλση κυρίως από περιέργεια.
Being brought up, you know, things like ghosts, banshees, leprechauns, moving statues, knock, Lourdes, whatever. You just think, well, is there something or isn't there something, or what's going on? Are people seeing things, or are they not seeing things? Is there a God? Is there anything other than this plane that we live on? Any Irish person that you talk to say, well, how much does it cost, or how much does he charge? It's like, he doesn't charge anything. He doesn't accept money. And so it was just curiosity and interest that made me want to go to Brazil.
Ο Πάσκαλ Σέρινταν ήρθε στην Γάζα αναζητώντας βοήθεια για τον ένατο όγκο στον εγκέφαλο μέσα σε 16 χρόνια.
I came here to ask him to remove it, the tumor in my head. Ask God to remove it. In 2001 I was paralysed. Mr. Phillips was the neurosurgeon, and he came in and told me that there was practically good night and God bless him, safe home from the Irish Open. He says we'd done the biopsy and we couldn't get out there. It was too vascular or too bloody, or however you want to call it. I haven't got the right medical words, but basically told me that 90 days or 3 months and I'd be moving on to the next stage. A lot of people were writing down things, you know what their complaints were and what they were here for, and I didn't write anything down. I didn't get anything Josie to just say anything for me. I stood in front of him and he recommended herbs the first day and sent me into the current room. But then when I got into the place, someone's telling me I'm not to ask for what I want, ask for what I need. So I've changed the focus now, because what I want is a kind of a satisfy the ego and it's a personal want because I want to survive and all that kind of stuff. What I need for my soul is different need, and I have to surrender to the soul, because that's the true journey.
Then I began meditating myself, and I remember seeing in my mind's eye some people with white light around them. It was very intense, felt all this love, and had this experience where I knew that behind all the appearances, things are okay, that it really is all love, things are all really connected, and I knew that. And that happened within a matter of about 5 minutes, and then the whole thing was over.
I thought it was making me confirmation again, going up in front of the bishop. I felt so full of grace.
Well, as I said, when I asked him this time, do I need to come back?
Yeah, it was amazing. In the current room, I mean, it was the same. I just got the same. The night my mother died, and myself and Liz were doing Reiki on my mother all night for about 8 hours, and that's the way it felt. Just that kind of swoony energy. It's amazing. I'll see.
But I'm still like, what about the other three?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm still in shock.
I was just meditating praying to Mary. And the smell of roses was just permeating the whole air for the hour. It was fabulous.
Η Τζοάν έκανε 3 μπάνια με κρυστάλλους την ημέρα. Τα μπάνια είναι μια σειρά κρυστάλλων από όπου διέρχεται φως και ηλεκτρικό ρεύμα. Οι άνθρωποι αναφέρουν ένα πεδίο ενέργειας γύρω τους καθώς βρίσκονται κάτω από τους κρυστάλλους.
You have to be open to it. But I mean, it's hard for Joan just to open up to everything. She's so ill, really, you know. Slowly but surely.
I think what's so special about Abidjania is that it's been there now. This energy, this portal of healing has been there for quite some time. In the same way that same portal is there in Lourdes. There's a feel, there's an energy. I think in Abidjania it's more organized, it's more focused, it's smaller, it's tighter, it's in one place, it's in a casa. I keep coming back to this whole thing of compassion, this whole thing of love. It's a presence, it's in the village.
Ύστερα από 3 χρόνια στην Αμπαντάνια, ο Όλταν και η βραζιλιάνα φίλη του Αλεσάνδρα απέκτησαν την Καμίλα. Ο Όλταν πουλάει χυμούς και εργάζεται εθελοντικά στην Γάζα.
I'd just like to remind everybody, especially those who are new to the work, that our prayers and our participation is very important to the work. It's an integral part. This work isn't just about one man doing all the work. This is about each one of us as a medium, and every one of us is a medium. Each one of us...
We need some way to bring us together in unison, in the hall. So we join and we say words, we say a prayer together. What's important is the heart that goes into the prayer, and what's important also is the fact that it brings us together, these words that we all know. And so it's sort of this energy that's all spread out all over the place, everyone off in their own little words, suddenly sort of starts to gel and become one. And that's very powerful. And so the prayer is very powerful.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day.
Most of the surgeries he does are what he calls invisible surgeries, where spirits will perform invisible surgeries on the people in the room. That's such a different understanding of reality from the way I was raised that I don't completely know what to do with that yet.
There were people lying on beds and I said, oh Jesus, we're going to have to lie in a bed. So I had to put my hand on my heart if you wanted an invisible one, and I did.
Ο Μάικλ Μόρισον πάσχει εκγενετής από κυστική ήνωση. Πήγε στην Αμπαντάνια αναζητώντας μια εναλλακτική άποψη σε σχέση με τη συμβατική ιατρική που έλεγε ότι η κατάστασή του θα χειροτέρευε.
I put my hand on my heart and then said a prayer for my lungs and my pancreas because they're the two areas that mainly affected with cystic fibrosis. And I just walked and said, look, concentrate on the lungs, seeing them breathing in and out, and then just said a prayer for that. And then did the same again with the pancreas, but at the same time holding my hand on my heart.
We were sitting down and Martin said to put your hand on your heart if you weren't sure what you wanted healed. But I was going to give my liver a whack of good energy for a change, about time. So I put my hand on my liver, and as soon as I put my hand there, But my liver was sort of tickling anyway, but when I put my hand there, my fingers were electrified because it was just shooting right up my arm for a good at least 10 minutes.
A criança Senhor, que vossa vontade se estenda sobre todos os que estão operados. Louvado seja nosso Senhor Jesus Cristo. Em nome de Deus, os que estão operados.
I did. So I thought, that's it, I'm leaving now. And it was done. Little Mr. Men came inside me and I can feel the stitches.
You think an invisible operation, you kind of a bit, okay, invisible operation, woo. But you kind of walked out of the room and suddenly you didn't know why your legs felt like jelly. You have to hold up against the wall just to support yourself. And then I slept for 24 hours. I would never have done that before in my life. Nearly comatose state.
I'm telling you, it's like I've 20/20 vision now.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
This eye there is no difference.
Fine. Well, if you go back to examine it, I wanted to know about that.
Yeah.
It's like there's something happening, but it's slow, isn't it? But anyway.
Well, how long did it take you to get here? How many years?
Oh, will you stop? If you're going to say it takes that long, then...
No, I'm not. I'm not going to say that at all. I'm just asking how long.
Not that long, really, about a year.
How long have you had MS?
89.
So, in 2 weeks, you've felt something that you haven't felt in quite a while.
Sure enough, yeah.
Right? And I'm not saying that it's going to take you 15 years to heal, but just to keep it in perspective, that things move. It might happen instantaneously.
Yeah.
That's not unheard of. But because this is about the healing of your spiritual relationship, oftentimes the physical body heals slower so that you have time to adjust.
Yeah. Who was holding a book here the other night?
Me. Steady. I forgot. Yeah, you're right.
Very steady.
Yeah, and I can't. Reading at home makes me dizzy because my hands move so much.
Right.
But
how long has it been since you've been able to hold a book and read?
I'd say about 4 or 5 years. Yep.
So are you afraid, Joan, that if you get too excited about what is happening,
yes,
that it won't be real?
Yeah.
Do you suppose you could give yourself a break and just
I wonder. I don't know if I...
You look like you want to. You really look
Yeah!
Show that you have the power to make a world as you would have it be, and that because you want it, you see it. Remember all the dreams I had about you walking?
Yeah, I can't wait.
The first 6 weeks there was a lot of improvements, physical improvements. Her mood was very upbeat. There was great work being done from the point of view of it was all very new, and we were down in the casa every day, very early, the current rooms, doing a lot of work. And then her husband came as a surprise, which was wonderful. Everybody in Pusada Catronese was in tears, including myself, trying to hold the camera. She did great work for 2 or 3 weeks when Sean was here. He was here for about 5 weeks. Walking to the casa from the top of the hill, She was very happy and she was coming back to her old self. She was very sociable, she was very happy to be here, and she had her daughter and her husband with her.
From the first day I went down to the casa with Joan. We were standing in line. I put my hand on her head in preparation to walk in through the doors, and was basically stuck to the floor with energy.
When the first day he arrived down at the casa, I saw him just rigid. I couldn't physically see the energy, but I could see his reaction in his body, and he had his hands over Joan's head in the wheelchair in the main hall of the casa before the morning session, and he was just shooting energy into her.
I felt energy come down into me from him. It was an electric shock, and I thought, what's going on? It kind of like shook me.
I had my hand on her head and I actually couldn't move my hand off her head. It was like being hit by a bolt of lightning. And I'm not a healer. I had no experience of healing, meditation, any techniques of healing.
For the time that Sean was here, he sat in current a couple of times, but it was so hard for him. He just wasn't able to cope with it because they were channeling a lot of energy through him, and he kept saying he didn't want it, and he didn't know why he was doing that. She had one operation when Sean was here. She's had 4 altogether. And then when Sean left, she just lost motivation, and that was 2 months ago.
Αν και οι περισσότερες εγχειρήσεις περιγράφονται ως αόρατες από τους ανθρώπους στην Γάζα, μερικοί επισκέπτες υφίστανται ορατές επεμβάσεις. Ο Ζοάο κάνει αυτές τις επεμβάσεις χωρίς αναισθητικό, κι όμως οι περισσότεροι ασθενείς δεν αναφέρουν αίσθημα πόνου.
The explanations I still don't fully comprehend, but I was watching a man who was making incisions with an ordinary knife, like a routine kitchen knife, unsterilized.
I felt when he cut, but nothing painful. Some burning, but nothing like excruciating or horrible. But I felt because I wanted to feel. But what I felt the most was when he squeezed out something, I felt really something black coming out of my heart, like a thorn. It's something that every step of my life was slowing me down, like a thorn.
How is this taking place without infection? How is this taking place without blood loss? And how are people not screaming their heads off when he inserts the needle doing the stitching and making the incisions?
Many say that this is anesthesia. Put it in your mouth, and what does it taste like? Agua.
Ο Μάρκ ήρθε από την Καλιφόρνια όχι επειδή ήταν ασθενής, αλλά αναζητώντας αποδείξεις για την ύπαρξη του Θεού.
I felt cold steel going up, and then I felt him just shove it with all his strength, and I felt excruciating pain. I felt just so calm. And even when I had the thought, he's in your brain, which is what my thought was, and I saw yellow, bright yellow, and I got this bitter taste in my mouth as I had the thought, he's in your brain.
Até aqui está esse tinta, mas é perigoso da hemorragia interna.
Well, no, it did not look like it went directly up. Your head was tilted back.
Yeah.
He did go in, and then it looks like he did maybe change the angle. Let's look at it again. But also there's an inch there that it's not in the nose. Through that. Boy, that is long, isn't it?
It's long. Well, thank you.
Okay, that's the back of the sinus. Okay, that's how much space I have. That's about what it looks like in Netter's anatomy. Do you want to go to the internet this afternoon and I'll pull up a sagittal view of the skull, and we can look at that. You're the doctor, but look at the curve you have to do.
For me, the main reason I came was to prove to myself there was a God. Either there is or there isn't.
So what do you think?
Yeah, there is.
Why?
Because I survived that. Plus the other operations that I've seen here.
Can I ask what you came here for?
¿Para qué usted ha venido a la casa?
Yo he venido aquí a la casa para una ayuda espiritual.
I'm here for help, spiritual help.
What do you feel right now as the entity works on you?
¿Cómo se sientes ahora que está?
Muy bien.
You don't feel anything?
It's okay. No problem.
No problem.
Can you feel when I touch your hand?
No siento ningún
¿Siente
problema.
alguna cosa cuando la entidad trabaja?
No.
Only it same touch, very soft and low.
Para ele não tem nada.
For him it's nothing.
Mas eu fiz foi tirar, foi raízes.
He's removed everything from inside.
Okay.
Nothing more come back again.
Okay. I have to change the way I think about the world.
It baffled me as to how people actually were not getting infection. Because having worked in the third world myself, if I had done anything like that without proper sterile conditions, there would be a bacterial infection.
Some people who I spoke with were able to remember the events going around them completely. And so some people seem to enter a sort of altered state during these surgeries. Some people do not. When I was assisting in one of the surgeries, he cut this woman's cornea. She didn't flinch. She didn't try to pull away from him. And she was able to answer his questions and speak with him while he was performing the surgery. She did report some mild pain at the end, but then he placed his hand over her eye and the pain was gone. I can't explain that. I heard some people use the term spiritual anesthesia. I have no way to understand
the
that.
Interior part of the eye as well. Although he's working on the surface, he's going deep into the interior. Are you experiencing any pain, or did you experience any pain? No.
He was explaining to me that he was opening up something within her heart.
Καθώς ο Τζέφρι Ρέντιγκερ έφευγε από το σπίτι μετά τις εγχειρήσεις και έλεγε ότι αντιλαμβανόταν τα φαινόμενα αλλά δεν τα αποδεχόταν με την καρδιά του, τότε στην μπλούζα του εμφανίστηκε ένας λεκές. Ο Τζέφρι ήταν υποκείμενο, όπως την αποκαλούν οι ντόπιοι, αόρατης εγχείρησης. Ο κόσμος ισχυρίζεται ότι η εμφάνιση τέτοιων σημαδιών συμβαίνει συχνά.
I don't know. I have no idea what that is. You think so? Really?
Because you haven't got a spot there.
Well, maybe I did have an invisible surgery there in that room the other day. I don't know.
Yes.
Hmm.
Now you know how it feels.
Yeah. I mean, I feel a little bit afraid. I mean, I don't know how to understand this. I feel a little bit afraid.
So you don't feel like you've been violated? You feel in control?
No, I don't feel like I was violated at all. No, I don't know. No, I do not feel in control. I think that's why I'm afraid, probably. It's not clotting off as fast as you'd expect. Yeah, thanks. I don't have a bleeding disorder. I had spent the week seeing people and experiences that were outside the realm of my normal experience. We had some research interviews and heard some stuff that just kind of knocked me for a loop, frankly. And then somebody noticed blood on my shirt, so.
Heart surgery is a metaphor for opening yourself up.
Right. I kind of been told that's what I need to do.
Wow, many of us.
So.
Wow, but not just. You know, it's a tiny hole.
It is a very tiny hole. It just won't stop bleeding. I mean.
Ο Τζέφρι μοραγούσε για μία και πλέον ώρα παρά την προσπάθειά του να σταματήσει το αίμα.
You see, everything I relate to the fact that I still have to get up and push that. So it's not really, I prefer if I was moving properly all by myself. No, top, of course. There are improvements. It's just a matter of
that can go out, I'd say.
putting them all together.
No, they're perfect.
I had like big time shake like that. I could no man that. It's like shh. So that's improved bladder and that's even my head shook. So that's improved.
She was feeling a lot of benefits. She looked great. Her mood was fantastic. She was very happy to be here, you know. It just somehow changed. You know, I guess it's hard when you come the whole way from Ireland and you can't walk. I guess it is hard to keep the faith going, and 5 months is a long time.
I've had it. That's about it. Had enough. I mean, it's great, all this holy praying and everything, but I've had enough. That's it.
I guess she needed to go home to take it all in, to see, what the next move to make is.
Well, you see, I'd say I'm coming back to get totally and absolutely and utterly fixed.
To be able to work with my sister, I learned a lot about having to let go and her healing having to take its own course. It's up to her. Only she alone can do it, but she can't do it alone. And it was hard for me to let go of that passion that I had for wanting her to walk. She has to want herself to walk. So there was a lot of realizations for me here and a lot of learning, and now I feel like this is my time.
Η Γκρόνια έχει ένα κυριακάτικο ζωντανό κωμικό σοου και λέει ότι θεραπεύει με το γέλιο. Αυτό αποκαλείται Γκρόνια Ντεντέους και συγκεντρώνει χρήματα για την καθημερινή σούπα.
I was so trashed, I took a wrong turn going to the Jacks and ended up on a plane to Brazil. Yeah, and I sobered up in the curtain room. God, it was a nightmare. I've had a lot of work done on my liver, which was pretty much in very bad shape before I arrived, but I'm very good at covering things like that up, and I didn't want anybody to know what shape I was in before I came. And I also didn't want my sister especially to know, because for me not to be able to help her would have been a disaster. But the entities helped me come here. I was feeling very sick before I came.
It was great being from the past week.
I've had enormous benefits from being here. I feel like I've opened up a lot more and more honest, more truthful, and happier within myself. I feel great. Physically I feel really, really good, better than I have done for a lot of years, but I think not in taking alcohol. It's the longest I've ever gone without taking a drink. I don't feel the need to stuff my face full of alcohol and be off my head. I feel I'm at home here, that to me it's like a coming home.
Maria's story and the stories of her family have so many different facets, so many pieces.
When she born, they saw immediately she has spina bifida. The doctor there for orthopedics, he said she's not able to walk with
by herself.
Herself.
Says she would not be able to walk by herself?
Yes. No, never.
She also had curvature of the spine called scoliosis that also, in her situation, quite severe. I believe the scoliosis for her is around 35%.
I took Maria in Easter holidays and we came here. Met Zhao when we passed. She did 2 operations to Maria. And the last week we have to go back in Athens. I asked if Maria can be healthy. Okay. And Joao told me Maria have to come here 4 times. She will be healthy. And she have a brace, body brace. He said no need. So we never use again.
Η Μαρία έκανε ακτινογραφία όταν επέστρεψε στην Αθήνα, όπου ήταν εμφανής η βελτίωση της κατάστασης.
So they were following her scoliosis every 6 months with x-rays. Okay. A 25-degree curvature. So this is in April of 2001. All right.
We did x-ray and they saw scoliosis was back to 25 degree.
And this is after being here once?
Yes.
So it went from 35 to 25?
Yes.
There's films that substantiate that, and that's an improvement that is remarkable and fascinating to me.
Eles podem aprender muita coisa, muito para aprender. Eles têm.
The invisible world is real.
Que o mundo invisível é real.
Places like this, they may manifest aspects of the divine that are not as easy to find elsewhere, but the divine life is everywhere, and so this is just a special case of what's everywhere, I believe.
He wants that before you leave to your country, today you lie 30 minutes in the crystal bed.
O nome dele, o endereço. Qual o hospital que ele atende?
I think it's important to not reify any particular place, but to come to the point of seeing what's real all around us wherever we are.
E dá o crachá dele, de hoje em diante eu vou começar. Eu quero uma caneta que eu vou transmitir energia para o seu trabalho.
Next time when you come, bring a pen.
Okay.
A special pen so he can energize it for you.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Pode arrumar.
Tem que ser de ouro.
Okay.
Has to be a gold one.
Ouro,
a gold pen.
Gold or silver.
Okay.
We have an MRI in 20th of September. And Maria used to have a Carey syndrome because of the spina bifida, and we did the MRI and not Carey syndrome. It's clear.
There does seem to be something that the person who is healed brings to the healing experience or event. Something in their own preparation, something in their consciousness, something in what they are ready for in their lives allows what occurs to occur. So it's not that somebody walks up to a healer and is just healed. There's preparation on their own parts. There's a clearing in their own soul that seems to occur. And so the people who get healed, I suspect, they seem to be prepared for it.
I'm not as fearful about getting old, about dying, about losing people to death. I just feel that something has been opened up that's been there all along.
Did I get where I needed? Yeah. And I had where I needed the whole time. Change comes from within, from your heart. You know, that's where you have to open up.
Everyone has a different definition of miracle. I can't say you can define it by the book. Everyone's miracle could be different from the others. Well, my miracle was I've gone from 5 nebulizers down to 3. It's still not a huge improvement, but at the same time, there's 40% reduction in nebulizers. That's quite a big, significant jump in a year. And then from that, I don't take inhalers anymore. From being 2 inhalers twice a day to not taking any. I don't need it. I don't feel I need it. So I feel like I'm now responsible for myself rather than prior I would have abdicated control over it.
Because I got rid of one in 2001, and I know it's possible. You know, I grew it. It grew here. So I have the secret, if I can find it. So I'm spending a bit of time looking for the key again.
Επιστρέφοντας στην Ιρλανδία, ο Πάσκαλ έκανε μαγνητική τομογραφία. Ο όγκος στον εγκέφαλο είχε μεγαλώσει. Πήγε να χειρουργηθεί στις Ηνωμένες Πολιτείες το καλοκαίρι του 2004 και η επέμβαση ήταν επιτυχής. Λέει ότι συνεχίζει να συνδέεται με το πνεύμα του σπιτιού όταν διαλογίζεται στη διάρκεια της ανάρρωσης.
One of the big things in life is finding meaning for your suffering. Believing that it has a purpose.
Hello.
That is a great help to people. I think this place is about, ultimately, healing and spiritual development, and they're not different. Because all our illnesses, be they psychological, physical, spiritual, they're all representing a lack of completeness in who we are. And resolving them is about becoming more whole and becoming more growing. And that means taking responsibility for ourselves, but also for the world we live in, and everybody around us.
The group dynamics and the community that people harvest together, it's something that's, I think, part of the healing as well. Because people are there, some at the lowest ebb, some at the riding crest of a wave. There's not really a Mayfain culture. Like, we're here for everyone more so than just for one person.
For me, it was absolute proof that there is a spirit world and that people, entities, spirits in the spirit world are always helping us.
Όταν η Μπρέντα Γουόλς επέστρεψε στο σπίτι της, οι οφθαλμιατρικές εξετάσεις έδειξαν ότι η όρασή της είχε βελτιωθεί.
Thomas Merton described Western civilization as a great one-eyed giant. He said that a great one-eyed giant was born on the shores of the Western world over 1,000 years ago. And he talks about the brilliance and the strength of this one-eyed giant, the analytical logic, the ability to parse things into their parts with the help of the microscope and the telescope and the stethoscope. But he also said that the beauty and the tragedy of this one-eyed giant is that if it doesn't learn to open its other eye, that it will destroy itself. And the other eye, he said, is the eye of wisdom, of compassion, of spirituality, some sense of openness to what the spiritual traditions call the invisible world.
As a doctor, as a scientist, I don't understand fully what is going on in Abidjani. Something profound is going on there. This is not worked by human rules. This is working by rules that we can't fully comprehend. And that's the danger of science, that if it can't comprehend it, therefore it doesn't exist.
Certainly, medicine is full of anecdotal reports, but they are typically ignored because they're just not understood. They don't fit into the way physicians are taught to understand the world, and since they cannot be explained, they're ignored.
Just because it doesn't understand the cause doesn't mean that they should negate the effect. What's happening in Abidjani is that there are powers working, there's a consciousness working that is beyond our ability to comprehend it.
Η Τζοάν, ο Σον και η μικρή Μοντ επέστρεψαν στην Αμπαντάνια τον Ιούνιο του 2004. Η Τζοάν ζεσθενόταν πολύ και γι' αυτό εγκαταστάθηκαν στην ακτή όπου συνεχίζουν να αναζητούν τη θεραπεία.
I like it here. Flaria. But then again.
I never actually heard Joan say that before about any place, so she likes us. She's happy, I'm happy. I don't know, maybe there's a purpose to dragging this out longer. But like, you're very strong physically. You're stronger physically than you were. You're stronger mentally, I think, than you were. But there's still a long way to go, a lot of work. I actually believe this is only the start of the journey, after 2 years of a very interesting journey. I think it's only really starting. You're only starting to come to grips and to understand what's happening and how the healing works.
I think we're going the right way, but why does it take so long? It's taken longer than I expected. butcher. I suppose maybe I'm impatient, but the only thing I want is to fix my legs, and they're not fixed, but they will be.
Patience is endless, you know, it has to be at this stage. Once you connect with the energy, you know there's another dimension, so you know that the outcome of your patience, persistence, faith and love will bring you to a place you need to go.
They said to Joan, you can go, but you stay longer. So that was pretty straightforward. But then it just developed into meeting my Joao as opposed to Joao de Dias, which has been an extraordinary blessing. I mean, everything I've asked for at the Triangle has manifested in some form or another. When I asked for an equal, I didn't expect somebody as smashing as Joao, really, you know, to tolerate my foibles.
God our Father, who is power and goodness, provide strength to he who is experiencing pain and anguish.
Well, Ronya's still up there. She's had remarkable experiences in Abidjania, and she now works in the recovery room.
I thank God every single day for coming to Abidjania. By coming here, I have understood so much more than I would ever have, you know, here, my path led me here, and I mean, this is the beginning for me.
Μετάφραση Χαρά Λιανού. Αφήγηση Νικολέτα Λιακοσταύρου. Τεχνική επιμέλεια Γιάννης Χούσος. Μίξη ήχου Θωμάς Μάνδαλος. Επιμέλεια μεταγλωτισμού, τμήμα υποτιτλισμού, μεταγλωτισμού και ελέγχου, διεύθυνσης προγράμματος ΕΡΤ.